So June's mobile report hasn't got any major sort of groundbreaking, industry-smashing events, but there's just a whole lot of interesting things that have happened. The one that I want to start with today is the smartphone boom in Africa. It was on my broadband during the course of the month, and global smartphone shipments are expected to reach about 1 billion smartphones for the year 2013, and are expected to account for about 50% of all phones shipped. But in Africa, it's going to be a higher percentage, with nearly 65% of all phones being shipped being smartphones. So that's really interesting that we are accelerating the growth in that smartphone space. Very good for people that are wanting data access and are wanting the smartphone experience. Still, we've got to get the smartphone price down to the sort of sub $60 to $80 mark. The current ship prices are still $300 in the sort of emerged markets, the West, at $300 to $400 per unit, which is really for the top end phones. So we need to get the lower end smartphones into the market quickly. So that's quite interesting to know, because the South African penetration is between the 15 and 20% mark. It is growing rapidly. The networks are aggressive in pushing the smartphones into the market, because the data usage is 30 to 40 times higher than a non-smartphone user, and that's really where the networks are wanting to build out their networks and build services for those people. So 15 to 20% is the South African market, and going to be growing rapidly. The next point is always there's going to be an Apple story. The iOS 7 was released during the course of the month, and iTunes Radio is something that's been quite widely covered. It's a free music service that's going to allow people to download and stream music for free. There are a number of apps that are competing in this space. So Pandora is one, 8Tracks is another, SoundCloud is becoming very popular. So Apple is really trying to maintain their space in the music industry and the music retail space. And the benefit for them is that people are going to want to buy and integrate that streaming service into their buying process. So it's a discovery mechanism for music lovers. That's going to be rolled out during the course of this year. Next up is a fantastic innovation out of the Kenyan market, product called Brick, or BRCK, Brick, and that is it's a mobile modem. So basically, it takes whatever connectivity it can. So whether it is Wi-Fi, 3G, 4G, or even an Ethernet cable, and it shares that over Wi-Fi to up to 20 additional devices. Kenyan developed, Kenyan marketed. It's had a lot of coverage in the online space. And a fantastic innovation, and good to see this kind of innovation coming out of Africa. We really hope that they do make the product live up to its expectations. It's expected to be on the market in about November for about a $200 price point. Is fairly high, but if you consider that it can be shared with a number of people, the per user cost will be lower. The other important thing is Microsoft has eventually released the Microsoft Office products for the iPhone as apps. They were quite reticent to do so, and with the majority of businesses using the Microsoft Office products, very good news for iOS and Apple users. It now allows them to view, edit, and interact with their Office applications and documents and files and spreadsheets on their phone. So good news there for Apple users and Microsoft users. Another amazing story that's come out of New Zealand and Google is Google's plan to create network balloons. So they're putting these balloons about 20 kilometers up into the atmosphere, and they are going to provide network connectivity to remote areas, specifically starting with South Africa. Each balloon will serve an area of about 20-kilometer radius from the balloon. It's not tethered. At 20 km will be a fairly long tether, but it has the ability to be remotely controlled from the ground in terms of positioning. So a very interesting way of providing sort of low orbiting balloons to create connectivity for remote areas. If anyone can do it, Google can. Their product is called Loon for all, so the loony Googles are doing it. Interesting, and really hope that it's not just one of their projects that they kill, and something that actually does deliver connectivity to remote areas.